Now, from today, thousands of homes and businesses will take part in a new trial which will see customers pay less for their water in winter and more over the summer months.
It's being piloted in southwest of England, South West Water. They're backed by the regulator, but it's opposed by others. And our correspondent Joe Inwood is in Devon for us this morning to tell us all about it. Oh, beautiful day, Joe. But not everybody happy with this arrangement.
No, certainly not. As you say, it's an utterly glorious day here. I'm in Paynton. Over there is Torquay, over there is Brixham, this is Torbay, and this is one of the parts of the southwest which from today is part of a new scheme which is quite possibly consequential and certainly controversial. What's going to happen is 3,500 homes and businesses in this region are going to pay much less for their water in the winter, but much more in the summer. It's part of efforts by South West Water to change the way that people use this vital resource. But as you can imagine, for a part of the world, especially on a day like this, which makes its money from people coming and visiting, mostly in the summer, it's not gone down well with everyone.
After a washed-out week, it's easy to forget that the UK faces a water crisis, especially in places like the southwest. So across the region, including here in Torquay, they're trying something different and controversial. Teresa is one of 500 business owners who recently found out they were being moved to a new and experimental type of water bill. From today, they pay much less in the winter, but much more in the summer.
It shouldn't be allowed for them to say, you have got to do this, you have got to pay these more expensive prices. Everyone else is not paying them, but the people that are having to do the trial have now got to try and find more money.
It's a particular problem if your business is hospitality. You can't exactly delay doing the dishes until winter. So how exactly will the new tariffs work? Well, one sees the price of water halve in the winter, but double in the summer. The other reduces the base price, but raises it once you use a certain amount. But it's not just businesses who are on the trial. Around 3,000 households have also been told that their bills are changing.
God, it's an amazing view, isn't it?
Yes, it's beautiful. We're very lucky.
Now, Sheila is not pleading poverty, but like many round here, she's angry not just with the way the trial has been done, but with South West Water in general.
Over there, we can see the town that is one of the reasons that people maybe feel so hostile to South West Water. That's Brixham, isn't it? Where there was this outbreak of cryptosporidium.
We're paying for all the mistakes that South West Water have made. They've not invested in the infrastructure and sorting out the pipes. We've got so many burst pipes around. That's all costing a lot of money, which eventually is going to come on our shoulders.
Now, it's fair to say that water companies are not the most popular at the moment. Controversies about the release of sewage, executive pay and dividends, plus plans to raise bills have seen them face a public backlash. But they say there are long-term problems that need to be dealt with.
Now, like many parts of the UK, the South West does have an issue with water security, and the company here said they've got to do something. And this trial is actually supported not just by the regulator OfWat, but also by the organisation that looks after the interests of consumers.
I think it's a long time since we've looked at how we pay for water, so these trials are essential to inform that debate.
Can you understand why people are upset with the water companies, though?
It's certainly understandable that people are put onto a trial and that they don't feel they have any choice around that. But actually, I think if they have a look at the information, most of those people will find that this could actually save them money.
Now, one of the things that's been controversial is the fact the trial's compulsory, and they say that's important to make it representative. But as we found out when we turned up for our last interview, South West Water may have taken some of the criticism on board.
In a bit of a development, since we arranged to speak to you, in fact, in the last couple of hours, what's happened?
This afternoon I had a call right out of the blue about 2 hours ago from South West Water, and they've decided to take me off to trial now.
I mean, they've listened to your concerns, and surely that's to their credit.
Yes, I give them that, yes, perhaps, yeah. South West Water are in a unique position that they operate as a sort of entity unto themselves, and they become judge and jury in these things. They're only responsible to OfWat.
As for South West Water, they say our customers have told us they want us to find new ways of charging, and we want to make sure that the bills our customers pay are fair and reflect their usage. Now, this all matters because the purpose of trials like this is to see what works and what can be applied elsewhere. The results from here in the southwest could one day be affecting your water bill. Joe Inwood, BBC News, Torquay.
Now, one of the people who is particularly upset about this whole scheme is Susie Colley. She is the local chair of the Chamber of Commerce. Susie, why have you got such issues with the idea of something which surely is just trying to get people to use water more responsibly?
I'm furious with the South West Water and I'm disappointed with OfWat. Why haven't they put out a public consultation before they impose this draconian rule on a tourist area?
But isn't the idea that this sort of is a consultation? It's only 3,500 homes and businesses. Surely this is how we find out what works and what doesn't.
With the greatest respect, it's an opt-in, allegedly opt-in policy, but it isn't opt-in or opt-out. You can't opt out unless you have either financial difficulties, you're moving house, or you're very ill. So these people are obliged to do it for the next 2 years. This is a tourism area, and the costs are going to go up, and the costs will have to be passed on to tourists.
And what sort of impact do you think this is going to have on an area like this?
Well, we have an economic downturn in the UK at the moment. Gas prices, electric prices are going up, as we heard this morning. Now, with this imposed water charge, it will put prices up even further. This is a tourist area. We've got to keep sensibility. And if South West Water want to do the sensible thing, put everybody on a water meter.
Surely, though, we do, and maybe you've just answered it there, we do need to reduce the amount of water we're using. You know, we do have, especially in an area like this and across the south, problems with water supply. What should we do? How do we stop people using so much water?
Well, for a start, South West Water ought to look at their own house, put their own house in order. What about the broken pipes? What about the sewage outfalls that they continue to have? What about the cryptosporidium in Brixham? That was a disaster, and they can't have a repeat of that. So put your own house in order before you start penalising us.
OK, Susie Colley from the Chamber of Commerce, thank you very much. As you can see, this is something which is getting people exercised here in the southwest. As I say, this is just a trial, but it is something, it's one of the ways they're looking at changing the way people act, and it could be something, if it works here, that gets rolled out far wider.
OK, Joe, thank you very much indeed. We'll talk to Joe again a little bit later, but